All right, here we are. We're live. Dan here with the chief experts, and we're on the designer show. And welcome today to John, Robin, and I think it's Renee.
We've been talking about that. That is pretty cool what he's got on his head there.
Renee's in the meta. Renee's being meta today, so very interesting.
I don't know how you do this. That's so funny.
We'll have to talk about that a little bit. So, but anyway, welcome everyone. Thanks for being here today. So, got some fun things to cover today, and we'll get into those. And if you guys have questions about anything chief related, by all means, please feel free to chime in. You can type your questions in the question typer box and have at it. So you guys, how you doing? How's everything going with you guys?
Life is pretty good. You know, life is good. Yeah. Can't complain.
Good.
Busy week, busy couple of weeks. Halloween just passed. It's fun.
Yep.
Yeah.
That's right, Renee. You're a big Halloween person.
Yeah, that was a blast.
What did you do again this year? You were doing.
I was. People say I look like Chris Pratt sometimes, so I did.
Right. That's right. Yeah.
Star-Lord. Yeah.
That's funny.
That's perfect. Yeah, if you search Chris Pratt, Renee does look like him. Not so much with the meta thing, but it's pretty cool. Anyway, so you guys, a couple of quick things. Want to start out with the registration for the 23 Chief Summit in Virginia Beach is available. So if you're on the page here, you can get to it by clicking to learn more about the summit. And I got it pretty well laid out. I'll be making some changes to this page, but it should give you a pretty good idea what we're going to be doing there. So it's coming up in February, so it's 3 months before before the event. So feel free to go through it. I'm not going to get into it right now, other than to just say it's there. Check it out. I'll be letting everybody know about it here in the coming weeks. So I'm really psyched about this because this is going to really give us a chance to do some things that we've done in the past, but do it in a much bigger way. So, and we can go a lot deeper into the program and do a lot more with everybody. So it's going to be pretty cool. It's a big commitment of both time and money, to be perfectly honest. But I think the ROI on this event is going to be huge for whoever attends. So, John, Renee, Robin, you guys have any comments you want to make about this real quick?
You just
It'll be a lot of fun.
You mentioned the return on investment. You'll be getting return on this investment in 10, 15 years from now.
Yeah.
Because of the people you'll meet and things like that.
Well, you don't have to wait that long. You'll be getting
it'll continue to give you a return on your investment for
a long time.
The rest of your career, really.
Pretty much, yeah. I mean, when we started doing these things back in 2013, did my first one in Vegas, and I think I'm just going to scroll up and down here real fast. I had a little story about it up here, and it was kind of by accident that this happened. I just decided I wanted to go do some training classes around the International Builders Show, and so I thought, but I didn't want to do a conference room, so I rented a big 9-bedroom house and filled it up with clients, and we ended up there the whole week. We did 2.5, 3 days of training, and then the rest of the time we did the builder show and things like that. So it wasn't all chief architect; it was a lot of mixture of things. But we had a ball, and some of the people, Kevin Tranzo and other people from that event, we've become extremely close friends, and it's just been really cool to see how they have advanced their business over the years. So it's been really a sight to see. So it's really cool how it works. Anyway, check it out. Let me know if you have any questions. Go ahead.
He started his own company.
Recently. Oh, he was employed. Yeah, Kevin, that's him right here. He had his own contracting company then. He was doing really well, but he was struggling with his worth or value for doing the designs that he did. So we had a lot of talks about that, and at last talk, he's probably making $250 an hour, something like that, on his designs. And now he's doing that full time. So he hung up his contracting license and he's going to be a designer. So
Nice.
he's really good at what he does. He's really great. And he's got a little testimonial there. He wasn't feeling really well when he did that. But anyway, check it out. Let me know if you have any questions. So, but let's get moving on here. And the other thing we have going right now is the lighting class with Robin starting on Monday. So
Yes.
check it out. It's going to be 4 sessions. We're going to get deep into lighting for your real world lighting, how you design lighting. Plus, I think, Renee, you were going to come in on the 4th session, I believe, and talk about lighting in chief. And we need to talk about that yet and how we're going to structure that. But you had already said you would do that. So that'll be pretty exciting. So we're covering kind of both angles of how you do lighting and how you do lighting in chief. Renee or Robin, did you want to add anything to that?
Yeah, so it's really thinking about, lighting is something that most designers don't really put a lot of effort into, only because they don't know a lot about it. And
Right.
lighting is changing, and just the way, what we're doing with lighting is amazing, and what it can do and how, but we don't understand. We don't understand all the technology behind it and all the little details. It's like, so what's the difference between all these cans? And why should I use an integrated LED can instead of using a can with a light bulb that I can screw in? And that's what we're going to really get into, is understanding all the details on it, understanding, being able to really discuss lighting with your clients, understanding lumens and delivered candle power and CRI and your CCT and all of this stuff, because all that information is on our boxes, on the box of the fixture or the lamp. And people go, well, I know I need 3000 kelvins, but what else do I need? And that's where we're going to break down all of that information and make it easy to understand and understand how to apply it, and also how to use the language to sell it, because clients will come back at you going, well, I want all my light fixtures on my ceiling in a row because that's the way I see it done. And that's where you'll have the verbiage to be able to say to your clients, the reason why I'm illuminating your room this way is because, and be able to give them be able to have the terminology to make sure that their clients understand what you're doing, or actually just kind of pull the wool, whatever, make them understand why you're doing what you're doing. And
Right.
so that lighting doesn't come in after.
Were you going to show us that you get the email I sent you, right? You can show us a little tip.
Was that live on that email?
Huh?
That wasn't a video? No, I don't know what I did with that video, but I can I can draw it out and show it to you using, if you let me use my screen, I'll use it using Chief to be able to kind of explain it.
You ready to go, or you want to?
Yeah, I'm ready to go.
Okay, so yeah, go ahead and you got to hit the present button, and then you can share your screen.
Oh, I see. Look at that. Share screen. Okay. Okay. So what I want
you've
to
got
do,
to pick which screen you want to share first.
yeah, I had to move inside because my office wasn't going to give me what I really wanted. Okay. So the first thing that we need to do is determine what we're going to illuminate, right? So let's talk about a kitchen countertop. Kitchen countertops are typically 36 inches off of the floor. So we have to determine what kind of a lamp what kind of fixture we're going to use. So let's start with this, a little bit of information. The thing that we screw into the fixture is not called a bulb. We call it a light bulb, but that's not what it's really called. It's actually called a lamp. And the thing that we screw it into is actually called a fixture, okay? So what you're looking at right now are Nora lighting. This is a lower price point product. This is a product that is equal in price to a remodel can, a standard 6-inch or 4-inch remodel can, and screwing a light bulb in once you buy all the trim and all the parts. So they run around $62 to $75, right? So somewhere in that range. And don't quote me on this because everybody's price is a little different everywhere, and the price might have gone up today. So, it's in that same range. So it's really close to a standard new construction can with a light bulb that you're going to screw into it. So these are integrated LED cans. And what we're looking at, Nora Lighting sells all over the country. I'm not a rep for them. I just like their product. It's easy to work with. they have a higher price point product, but this is the product that I use most of the time for the majority of my projects. So I typically use this. This is the other thing you need to know is that this is a 2-inch can. It's only 2 inches, and I can still get the same beam spread that I can get out of a 6-inch can, which is amazing.
Let me ask you a question about that. Now, if
Yeah.
it's only a 2-inch can, that's a pretty small can.
Mhm.
So when that's shining light down and you're in the room, you don't have that big bulb glaring down on you like you would with a regular 6-inch can, do you?
Well,
still-
because of the way this can has worked, and you're now looking at a diode, which is way up high in the fixture, you're not going to have that glare.
Okay.
Okay, so the glare.
I gotta try some of those.
Oh, you absolutely have to,
Yeah,
Dan.
my
these things are
wife
like-
absolutely hates the can lights we have in our kitchen. So do I actually, but
Absolutely.
this would be cool. And then I know we had talked once, and you had showed us how you lay those out, the spread, and how with the footage. That was really cool. And I know you're going to cover that in the class too. So, but yeah, this is great.
So what we'll look at, these are remodel cans. These are a remodel can, so that box is a transformer. But what we're really going to get into as we're talking in this class is we're going to get into the specification sheet, because this is where all the magic happens, right? Oops, hold on. My screen is a little happy, because we look at these things and go, what the heck are these, right? What is this? What is this? And in this class, we're going to really break down what we're looking at and what all this terminology mean, so that we know exactly which one we're going to specify, and what all of the terms on the left-hand side mean, what the beam spread and the lumen output and the wattage means, and what your CRI and your CCT or the Kelvin temperature means, and what all of this on the right-hand side means, the illuminance at a distance. So we're going to break down all of that so you can easily look and go, okay, I need to use this fixture. This one's going to work for me based on what I'm trying to illuminate, based on where I'm applying it, how tall my ceilings are, and everything else. So that's what we're going to get into.
That's good information to help your client. And then, I mean, a lot of that terminology is in Chief Architect too, when it relates to their lighting, whether it's going to show it exactly how it would be in real life. Renee, I think you could address that a little bit better, but
well, I think Renee has the magic to make that work.
Yeah, to a point in Chief.
Yeah, to a point.
Yeah. So okay.
Well, the thing is that in Chief, the lighting terms are not the same terms that we use in the lighting world, and Renee understands what words match, and that's what's important to know, is how the words match, right?
That's the same thing with materials in Chief. They don't use the industry standards.
Right. So it'll make it easy for you. And you know what, honestly, you guys, it will increase your bottom line, because you're going to have a better product. The project's going to be better. It's going to photograph better. The lighting is going to be better. And
your
the
clients
are going to be so happy.
Well, your clients will like it better. Okay. Thanks for Robin. We're going to move on from that. But yeah, guys, join us in the class. It's going to be a fun class.
And it starts next Tuesday.
Tuesday, that's right.
Next Tuesday.
All right. Mike said, within 1 hour of the show ending last Friday, I used that reference tip for glasshouse overlay. Thank you very much, Mike. That was a great message you sent me. Here's a little email Mike sent me on how we use that. So pretty cool how that worked out, and how he's showing there's a wall being removed here and a wall being removed here and wall being removed here. So the deck is new, I believe. So that's just showing where the deck is going to be.
You know what I love about this is if you're doing volumes of plans, it just happens sometimes that you maybe forget to check some things, and showing this display sometimes points out something that you're doing from a design standpoint that costs the client more money than if you just adjusted something from a structural standpoint, right? It's easy to see that we're modifying structure here.
Yeah. So cool, Mike. Thanks for sharing that with me, by the way. That was great to see. And what did your client think of that? I imagine they thought that was pretty cool too when you showed it. But it's just another way that we can use Chief to take a peek at what's changed in the plan. Existing deck is scary. Full tear out.
Must be in pretty bad shape.
Okay. All right, cool. All right, we're going to go spin the wheel. We're going to cover some things here in my back when was that? August? No, that was first week of September. We went to Coeur d'Alene. Renee, John, and I were there. Robin didn't make it. Then we sat in on the chief architect class. They think I'm amazing. Oh, well, you are amazing, Mike. What can we say? What can we say? So when we went to Coeur d'Alene, we sit in the class for a couple of days and we talk about, they created an advanced 2 class for us so that you pretty much just kind of have control over what we talk about during those 2 days. And, never fails. We go there and we learn things. And I keep a little book like this that, I don't know if you see that. You probably can't see it much at all.
Can't read it.
Yeah, you won't be able to read it. It's my handwriting, which thank God for typewriters. But I always label. See how I number, these. So when I go there, this last time I went there, I made 26 notes of things that either I'd forgotten about, didn't know about, I got enhancements about. So I've been doing that for years. So this whole book is full of little tips that I get from that class. Well, it's starting to fall apart. I may have a new book. So anyway, I'm going to share a few of those today with you. And I thought, well, hell, I'll just put them on the wheel. The good old wheel. So let's go spin up the wheel and we'll have some fun with that. So I added some things to the wheel. Let me pull that up here and we'll show that right now. And there we go. All right. So you see I've added some numbers here. The numbers are some of the things that I picked up in the class, and a few of these icons we haven't covered yet. So I'm just going to spin it up. We'll see where it lands, and we'll just have at it. So, and Renee and John, if you have some things that you want to cover, let me know.
Okay.
All right.
I got one.
Okay. All right. Robin, you should know what this is.
Oh, it's to make the countertops all one.
You got it. All right. So what that icon does is when you're working in a plan, and and sometimes you need to make the cabinets a little bit different, the countertop, I mean. So you can take your cabinets and you can group select them. You can select one or you can select a whole group. And there's a little icon down here. This is the icon we just spun up on the wheel. Okay. And that's going to convert the countertops of the cabinets I've selected into a custom countertop, a CAD box that's going to be around those countertops. And now I can take that countertop, let me bring up a 3D view, and we can take that and reshape it and do whatever we want to it. So there it is. You see it's one countertop, it's one cabinet now. So now I can change the size of it. So I could do this in 2D or 3D. It's a little easier to control in 2D, but I can break the edge and I can pull that out. So I've just taken the cabinets. And the nice thing about using the cabinets with that icon, it leaves the overhang the way it was of the cabinets versus if you just go in and you draw a custom countertop. Do I keep saying cabinets? I mean countertop. You have to position the overhang for that. So it saves a little time that way. But that's really what that icon does. It's a nice little icon for creating those custom countertops.
Well, it makes it easier when you want to change the finish because now it's just clicking one thing instead of individual cabinets.
True. So that's what that icon is. All right, that was a quickie. Let's move on to the next one.
I got a question. You want to take a question?
Oh, yeah.
How about terrain hole under a cantilever that should not be a hole?
Well, if I spun the wheel and I got to that icon, we would cover that. But let's just cover it anyway. So because someone asked that question. So let's go back to the plan and let's go create. Let's see. How do I create a cantilever? Oh, let's just create a deck. That'll be the same kind of a deal. All right. I think we'll end up with a hole under the deck because I used the wrong railing.
That's what we want. We want to know how to fix that.
Yep. All right. So let's go add some terrain to our plan. So we just added a terrain box around this. So what'll happen sometimes when you put a terrain around your house and you go look at it. Now no, it is filling in under decks now. Never used to. All right, let's go create a can.
I've never had a problem with decks.
Let's go do this over.
If you do a porch, it might.
Yeah, let's go do a cantilever like they were explaining. Okay, so I'm just going to put a little bump out here. All right. And now I'm going to go add the terrain again. See, had the terrain already been there, wouldn't have been an issue. But because I'm creating the terrain after I've created that bump out, now my foundation ends there, but the bump out doesn't. So when I go create a new terrain, oops, do I still have one? Let me delete this terrain and create a new one. There we go. So now when I go look at that, you should see that I will have a hole under that. And yes, I do. Okay. And that'll happen with other things as well. That you might have an addition up on stilts or something like that. So the way you get rid of that is you click on your terrain and you're going to see this little icon. Okay. Make terrain holes. I don't quite get the label for it, what it means. But what this is going to do is it's going to put a CAD box around the house. And what that CAD box is it's a hole in the terrain. Okay. So when I open the dialog for what Chief just did, it's make a hole in the terrain. It's just like I created my own hole. And you can now reshape that hole to be whatever you want it to be. So I could pull that hole back. Voila. I've just done that. If you wanted to, you could go to the floor plan now as well. You could click around next to the house, and there's that box that Chief created. And I could reshape that now to be whatever I want it to be. So if I really wanted a hole in the terrain, I could do that. And you could also use the terrain hole making tool called where is it? Right here, terrain hole. And you could draw that on your terrain too and create holes that way. You're just extruding a hole into the terrain. Hope that answers the question.
Want to make a comment on this?
Maybe she'd be on floor 0 always. No, that's up to you. Which floor you want your terrain on. Sometimes I want the terrain on my first floor because I want to show all of the terrain things going on my floor plan, the sidewalks, the roads, all that kind of stuff. I want to show it on my main level plan, not my foundation plan. It's a great question though, because there are some times when you almost have to do the terrain on the foundation plan because of all the different things going on. I can't remember what all those different things
I've
are.
actually had trouble sometimes putting it on the foundation. I don't remember what the circumstances were, but
yeah. Sometimes what I've seen in plans, let's say you have a walkout and you got some walkout walls. Okay. So you got a basement walkout. All right. Let's go like this. So you got a basement walkout and you need to do some terrain walls here. All right. So you got to walk out here. But your terrain is on the first floor. All right. Then in that case, you almost have to put the terrain on the foundation plan because the terrain walls that you create, if you want them to follow and control the terrain the way you want it to, they have to be on the same floor plan as the terrain perimeter. And that's the case where you would have to do that. But we're not going to get into a terrain class right now.
Right.
So
just one quick thing about how do you get rid of the icon that's following your cursor?
The icon that was following my cursor is gone now. Why is it gone now? Because I closed that 3D view. Let's go open that 3D view again. And let's go make a change to the terrain, which is what I was doing. See if I can get a hold of that terrain box. I can't on that view. All right. So what happens sometimes when you're working on something, and all right, now it's not coming up, is it?
You have auto rebuild on.
Yeah, I think you do.
In your terrain specification.
Under terrain.
I can turn it off here.
Okay.
Oh, that's right. Nope, I can't. They did take that out of there. But I can make some changes here, and I think I'll get an icon after a while. Let's see if I can click on. Now let's go back to the terrain and turn off auto rebuild. So there we go. Now we're getting an icon following it. Basically what that means is because when you build your model and you build terrain, Chief has two modes of auto rebuild your model. So if you change a floor height or something like that in your plan, it's going to automatically rebuild all the time. In terrain, when you change your terrain, you add something to it, you contour it a little bit. I had auto terrain turned on, so it would change it automatically. It's turned off now. So basically what Chief's telling me by having that icon there is that I need to rebuild my terrain. So look at the icon that you got there, and Chief's, it might be the build floor icon if you got the build floor up, so that might pop up. Just go back, and if you perform that function, that icon will be gone. Okay, see now I've got the rebuild floors and ceilings coming up. Let's turn that. Now that's gone. So it's just telling you that there's a function that Chief's kind of wanting you to do.
It's the same thing over here on the bottom right. If you have your concentric jump turned on or something like that.
True. Yep. Concentric jump. You'll see that icon because that's not your standard way of editing CAD boxes. So when you edit a CAD box, see how it's doing that instead of moving the corner. So it's showing you, oh yeah, you're in a different mode. See, now it's also telling me I need to rebuild my terrain. So when you're in a different mode. So if I switch back to the standard default CAD function in Chief, that other icon will be gone now. And if I rebuild my terrain, the build terrain icon will be gone. Of course, now it wants me to build floors and ceilings. So leave those things turned on as much as possible. When you get to a big plan, sometimes you need to turn those things off because it slows down your plan. All right. Good questions. That was great. Let's go back to the wheel. Spin it up. Oh, I didn't take off that terrain hole thing. Import a DWG. How many of you guys out there import DWGs into your plan? You go, someone sends you a plot plan, you bring it into your plan and you work on it. Let me go do that real quick. Oops. So I've got a plan here and I've got a DWG in a folder. And let me go find it. Where did I put it? That's not the folder. It's right. I got to get the right place. Give me a second.
That screen name's hilarious.
What was that?
What the Mel is going on.
Oh.
And the picture that accompanies it. It's good.
Oh, I didn't even notice that. Okay. Let's see. Today is. All right. So here's the DWG I've got right there. There's a file. Let's pull that onto the Chief plan. So you can take your files anytime you want, and you could just drag them onto the screen. You don't have to go through the import function. You can if you want to, but just drag it on the screen and Chief will open the right import function for you. In this case, it's import DWG. So I'm going to check those two. Go next.
So you check your polylines, and what was the other one you checked?
The boxes.
Boxes. So you want those?
I always have. I don't know why I do it. I just do it because I think it hooks things together better.
Right. Yeah.
When you get that, I believe that's what happens. So I'm going to leave it on the layers by name. Go next. Inch next, and then finish, and it'll bring that plan in, whatever it was. It might put it off a ways. Okay, so there it is. Obviously I didn't bring it in correctly because it's too small. All right, so if I were to go measure something now, I'm going to find out that oh yeah, it's only 6 feet. So I forgot to change something. I didn't forget, I just didn't realize what it was. Sometimes you get these DWGs and there'll be a format that is a little bit different than what you want. So let's go bring it back in again. Let's go do it again. Let me just pop in here. I'll go drag it in again. I got to go through the same thing here. Wish I could set those as a default. But this time I'm going to change it from inch to feet, or you might be millimeters or meters depending on where you get it from. But once you open it, once you finish the import, you'll be able to measure off of it and know what you've got. All right. So now I go in here now, and if I look at that, I should have the right dimensions now. So if I measure this, there we go. So I'm 82 feet on that width. Okay. So there it is. The DWG, when it was created in a different CAD file, the coordinates were way off there. So the first thing you do when you bring a DWG in is go ahead and hit fill screen, and then you'll see where it is, or you hit Control A, and that's going to fill the screen with everything that's in there. Notice I'm getting this area filled over here. It means there's something over there that I probably don't want, maybe. No, it is filling like that. Oh, there it is.
Oh, there you go.
So sometimes in those CAD files, you'll get some goofy stuff coming in. Look at that. There's one little thing that can mess up my whole plan. Get rid of that. So now when I hit Control A, I'm still doing the same thing. So I'm just hit down here.
That's your.
Oh, there's a
Oh,
drawing sheet there.
That's the actual
Building
plan.
or something. Yeah.
Oh, that's my actual plan. So yeah, so now it's just getting the right stuff. So there's what I got. The key to, I'm going to just explain this really quickly. I'm not going to show you how to do it. I'm just going to show you the reasoning that I do behind this. First thing I'll probably take and move that over here. Number one is I never bring a DWG file into the plan that I'm working on, ever. Okay. I always open up a new plan and import the DWG into that new plan. The main reason I do that is because of what just happened. It brought some garbage into my plan I didn't want. But the next main reason I do that is because bringing a DWG into your plan is going to mess up your layers tremendously. Because a lot of times you'll get a CAD file that has a whole bunch of layers. A lot of them might not even be used, that you don't really want on your layer list. Okay. So you see all these crazy names I'm getting. So what I always do is I bring my DWG into a blank plan. Then I go through the process of saying, okay, what of these lines do I want in the plan I'm working on? So what I'll do is I'll go to my layers over here on the right, and I'll start clicking on these layers until I'm I'll just, for a plot plan, I always just put the word plot in front of the name. And that keeps my layering convention such that when I look at my layers, all of the DWG lines will be under plot. They'll be in alphabetical order. Okay, so I do that. So then I go here and I'm going to put the word plot in front of that and turn that off. So I keep doing this until I'm done and I don't have anything else showing on my screen. Okay, and once that's done, okay, go like this, turn it off. So it might take you a couple minutes when you're working on your plan to do this. But man, in the course of working on the entire project, it's going to save you a ton of time because you don't have to hunt around for these layers all the time. There's nothing worse than picking and, turning, searching all over the place for what layer was that on? Why is that layer like that? The other thing you could have done was just brought it in under one layer into your plan. And that would also eliminate this.
Also, in your options, you must have had import all layers, not just import used layers.
I didn't even look, but which is what I'm sure a lot of people don't even look at that or understand what it means.
I think it's really important to keep them on separate layers.
I'd like it on separate layers because I do like to control what I see in my plan sometimes.
Right, exactly.
So, so yeah, I will generally do it like this and not put it on one layer. It depends on what it is. If it's a floor plan of a house, yeah, I'm gonna put it on one layer because I just want to trace over the floor plan. But for something like a plot plan or something more complicated, I like to go through this.
Yeah, even in a floor plan though, there's windows and doors and that are all on different layers.
Right.
I like to do it just because so I can sort it out and clean it up.
Yeah. So here's all those layers I just put the word plot in front of. Now they're all right here. Now I can turn them all on or off at once just by going like this. And there you go. So I got a lot of control over that. Once I'm done with all this, then I take this.
Oh, wait, before you move.
Yeah.
One thing that I do is I go and sort by color.
Oh, sure.
And then the colored yellows and blues and stuff like that, I change them to a color that's easier to see.
Exactly. And watch your line weights too. So
right.
Yeah.
I like making a CAD block out of it, just add it to my library. And
there's another good idea. Exactly.
Yeah.
So
this also brings up a set of tools that not a lot of people, I think, use or know about, which is under our tools heading at the top of Chief and layer settings, we have the layer painter, the layer eyedropper, and the layer hider.
Yeah.
And those are great tools for cleaning stuff up like this.
They
too.
really are. Big time. We're not going to get into it right now because those icons aren't on our wheel, but I do add one icon to my toolbar called, well, I add them all actually, but I add the layer hider. So whenever I'm working on a plan and I want to just turn something off, I just do that. You just have to remember to turn it back on when you're done. But yeah, I do use that one a lot. So anyway, but there you go. So then when you're done, you just highlight, turn on the layers you want to bring into your plan, highlight, copy, go paste it into your plan. And a lot of times too, what I'll do is I'll adjust the angle and I'll set a point that I want to paste it to I want to click it to paste it in my plan. So I'll have a snap point, and that works really well. All right, that's a little bit about importing into DWG. Hope that was helpful for you guys. Don't ever bring it into your plan that you're working on.
I've got another good trick, actually. If you bring it into your plan and then bring it in on a blank and then make a CAD detail out of it, or make a CAD detail of it once you line it up with your building, okay?
Mm-hmm.
So you've lined it up with your building, turn everything off except for your imported layers, and then make a CAD detail of it. And then what you can do is if you need to reference something, but you don't want to have it overlaid over your building, you can draw a line in your CAD detail and copy, paste, hold it in your plan. And then you get that reference without having to have all those imported layers on top of your plan.
Yeah. All right. We any questions? I see a couple there.
Can you export a 3D model format that Revit or others can use?
No, other than it's just going to be a symbol.
Yeah.
It's going to be like a toilet. I mean, it's just a symbol that you can't make it bigger and smaller, and that's about all you can do. So anything you do in Chief is going to be like that. I think I don't know how it works in SketchUp. Can you modify the surfaces in SketchUp? I don't use SketchUp. So,
yeah, you can. It comes in as a component in SketchUp. Yeah.
But can you modify the individual surfaces and things like that?
Yeah, you can.
Okay, cool. Awesome. All right, great tip, Golden. Awesome. Thank you. I hope that's a helpful one because, yeah, I've dealt with plenty of DWGs over the years. All right, let's go spin up the wheel quick. We're doing time, 20 minutes. All right, we haven't gotten into my advanced features yet. We're still not going to get to it, but this is a simple one. What's that icon?
Robin's on mute.
Wall, break line, break line or break wall or
break a wall. You know what? That icon's no
break
longer
line's different.
That icon's no longer in Chief.
Yeah, that icon's different.
Yeah, that icon is gone now. So it used to be up here. It used to be when you would click on a wall, you'd have that icon. Was it up here or was it down here? I think it was up here.
Yep.
It was in your edit toolbar too.
But you had to use it. You had to use that to break a wall. Yeah. Now they've got it where you use the same break for everything. So when you want to break a wall, just hit the number 3 key and click where you want to break it, and you're done. So that works really well. Anyway, I don't know why I had that one on there.
It's the 3 key
break.
The 3 key. Yep, one of the I don't know 10 keystrokes you need to know. The 3 key. That's a big one. Save you a lot of time. All right, let's hide that choice. Let's spin it up again. See where we end up. I'm going to get one of my numbers. Still not going to get it.
Convert to rich text.
Yes. That's a simple one. And Robin, Renee, I just saw your post there. Was it this morning or yesterday? Yeah. Why did they take that stupid tool out of Chief?
Stop using rich text.
Yeah, and I agree. I set up my text so it's all plain text, but Chief has a rich text tool here. But if you use plain text and you type a bunch of text in your plan, any of the text that you click on, you can convert to rich text. Maybe you want to make different colors or different size text in the same box. You could do that by converting it to rich text. Rich text is equivalent of Microsoft word processor, where you have the ability to, if you want to underline just part of it, you can do that, change the color on part, So you have a lot of flexibility with what you can do with the text, which, yeah, is it needed in Chief in a plan? Yeah, maybe not. What I do is I change my preferences. Every time I load up Chief, I go into preferences and I go to text and I uncheck create rich text. So then all the text you're adding to your plan will be plain text, and it's controlled. The plain text is controlled by the layer that the text is on, the size of it and the type of it. So I find that works great. I don't like the rich text. I think it's harder to work with, and you can't control it as well with your layers.
I could burn a whole show talking about that.
Oh, come on. Not that bad. And we won't want to do that. Yeah, that was funny. I saw that comment and I go, we just talked about that.
Pasting Excel tables in rich text looks great.
True.
Yeah, Norman asked a question, and yes, you can in rich text, but don't even go there.
Well, I mean, if you want to have a table that looks really cool, I mean, copy and paste from Excel and use rich text, but don't talk to Renee about that.
Do it on the sly. Just do it on the fly.
Hard nose. Don't let me catch you talking about it.
All right. Oh, I got number 4. All right.
What is this? Oh, and the number 4 thing you learned in Idaho?
That's just one of the things on my number 4 list. So let's go see what that one is. So number 4, the select painter tool. At the bottom, click use default material and paint the wall. All right. One of my pet peeves of Chief is when people go into a plan and they paint materials on the walls using the eyedropper. All right. So you want to put some material, some brick or something on a wall, and you use the eyedropper. Well, until I went to this last class in Chief, what I had to do every time was click on the walls, open the dialog, go to material, and click on the wall. And if it doesn't say, oh, do I have the wrong wall? Click.
Use default, right?
Yeah. Why did it not say that? It should say default here. So, what you end up doing is go select material and you click on use default. Okay. And now it'll put it back to that. And, for a lot of people, that'll never be an issue. What would be an issue though, is if you went and changed that wall to a brick wall and the brick's supposed to be 4 inches thick, and you do that, and then the next thing you know, that the brick still looks like concrete. So if I go into this wall, I go to wall types and I change that wall to brick, and I look at it, and it changed the thickness of the brick, but it's still concrete. That's because I painted over that wall with the painter tool. Well, in Chief, what I learned at this last show was to go in.
This was a good one. Yeah,
double click on the or just click on the material paint tool here and use default. Just select default. Okay, and then click OK. And now I can go down here using the what do they call these buttons again? They have a term for these buttons, but I can now either put the default material back on one item, one object, one room, one floor, the entire plan, and copy and make a copy of that material. So if I had a whole bunch of walls, let me just go do this real quick. I've got a whole bunch of walls that are been painted and I want to set them to default. I go here, choose default, click OK. If I want to just do one wall at a time, I can do that. Now it's back to the default material, or I could do the whole plan and every wall that had material painted on it. Done. That was a big one for me. So that was worth the price of the trip right there. Yeah, part of the price of the trip. That was a cool one because every time someone sends me a plan and they've used the painter extensively and it messes things up like crazy, we have to go reset those things back to the defaults.
You could also go select on each floor, select all your walls and reset your materials to default. If it was, you're just trying to get everything back to where.
Yeah, but I've often found that doing that, sometimes I get something selected and that menu doesn't open. So, but
yeah, because you end up with something that's not supposed to be.
Exactly. Right? Exactly. Yeah. So anyway, but you're right about that one. So that was a big one. All right.
There you go. You got
I got one.
You got a question here.
Oh, okay.
Slide
left mouse button. What's the question? Can you do multi-slide glass doors in Chief? Hamid, can you be are we talking about
Adding additional panels.
Adding
Additional panels. Yeah, let's go talk about that
What do
for
they
a
call
second.
those doors? I forget what they call those
Well,
doors.
glass walls or something like that.
Yeah.
A lot of different things, terms for it. But yeah, you can put a door in, and in the dialog for the door, you can go into the options, and you'll notice that you have the ability to add quite a few panels. So if you want to make the door 12 feet
He
wide.
said one that hides in a pocket. For that, you need 3 walls. The inner wall is your pocket.
Yep. Or you've got to create a much thicker wall because it won't fit within the wall. But you can create as many as you want. And I could have all the panels on one side, or so you have the function there to select what you want to do on those different panels.
It's hard to get them to hide in a wall. That's kind of tricky to get something like that to work. But,
you have to
3 walls.
You have to create a double wall or create create a much thicker wall.
Right.
So
remember when they first showed that to us?
Yeah, and they showed them opening and closing.
And watch, and it can move in real time while you're watching it. Those guys make it.
Nano wall. A nano wall. I think that's the brand name. So yeah, that is the tools. They do have some in the library. Nano walls under the manufacturer libraries. Where'd they go? And I've tried them, and I think those were created before they had the ability to do this. So I don't know that. Well, or maybe they just look a little better. Let's see, is it called Nano?
Yeah, Nana.
Thank you. There it is. So if I right click on this now, I hit show in browser. Now it's going to show the folder that those are in. And there's, I got one. I thought there was a bunch of them. Oh well. So if you use that, it's going to look like, it's not going to look as good as what Chief would do. In fact, this one, I don't know, did I create this or someone else create this? I wouldn't use that. It looks good. Doesn't fit right. I wish they'd fix that with their Windows tool.
Do we want to take time for this today?
What's that? Can you go
into how you can make a room out of a cabinet tool and how you do it? How do you turn it into an actual
room? Can you?
I didn't know you did that one.
Cabinet tool. Oh. Well, I do that with my shower kit. Yeah, that's a long explanation.
Okay.
Another time.
Yeah. Shoot me a message.
Marnie says, if you have a radius wall but want a 6-foot slider, how do you essentially square frame it? Well, Chief's going to give you that option. So if you have a curved wall and we put a window or a door in it. So if I go ahead and put a sliding door in this wall, you're going to have 2 options. Under the, is it jam? Let's see, where is it? Lights. I haven't done this for a while. Where is that? General. Options. Workout. You have the option to curve the frame and the door, or curve just the door or just the frame. Where is that? Casing. Here it is. No. Yeah, here it is. Curved wall, casing, radial, or straight. Parallel. See if that's it. No, that's not it. I know there's a setting here somewhere. It's been a long time since I've done a curved wall door. Lintel. If anybody finds that, let me know.
Go back to where you were. Go back to that one where you were.
Options.
No, there was one up at the top that had a check. That one. Can you uncheck use interior? No, I guess that wouldn't do it.
No, that's not it. There is a setting here somewhere. If anybody finds it, let me know, and then we'll go back to it. But yeah, you can do that. You can make the door slabs straight in the curved wall like that, I believe. Maybe it's just a window option. I'm not sure. Again, I haven't done that for a long time. So
I've got some tricks for that, but yeah, another show. Can I share my screen real quick?
Yeah, go ahead.
This is for Hamid. Let's see if I can get the right screen here. Yep, share it.
How many screens you have in your glasses there?
Up to 5. Okay, so this is what he was talking about. Is I've got a sliding Nora that's receding in between,
Yep.
receding into the wall.
Yep.
If you can see that. Yeah. Let's see. There we go. So I've got 3 walls here. You can see a doorway, and then I've got that slider there.
And you
Okay,
have
yeah. So
a
you're
couple of walls
using,
there you have a couple of walls you've made partition walls. Is that how you did it?
I just made them regular walls. I just duplicated them over. It took 2 seconds.
Yeah,
I mean,
Mhm.
you can make partition walls and mess around with your wall layers.
Yeah. So
that makes
creating
sense.
rooms
Yeah.
in between each one of those then.
Yeah, that's a nice way to do it. Well, Chief, in their regular tool, they won't do the recessed unless, can we do that with a pocket door?
I don't think so.
If
I
we
like
go to
that
pocket
anyways.
door, and I want to make that custom with 5 panels, and I want them all to be glass slab. And we'll make it 12 feet. See if it works. Okay, so it's going to show differently. Let me make that wall thicker just for the fun of it. Let's go to define, and let's make this 10 by 12. Yeah. Okay. So there it's going. So it is showing a pocket here. And I could show that open 100% by going here. All those pockets in the wall like that.
Oh, cool.
And there they are.
That's cool.
So it looks like it works. Let's just do it 90%. Actually see the panels. Oh, you know what I did is I made glass instead of glass panel. Glass slab, glass panel, that helps. There we go. And now I have it 90% open. Open. I want it 10% open. That's not changing. Because I got to show it open in 3D. Now I want it 90%. And there you go. Looks like it works.
Yeah.
Kind of funky. It's not showing a hole there.
Yeah.
Well,
So just make sure when you're showing this, your client, don't show them the other side. Or do like Renee did and use 3 walls, and that's actually a good way to do it. Cool. All right, let's spin up
here's
the
a
wheel
quick
again.
question for you right here.
Okay.
How do you have chief architect remember the last, it's not tool, it's the last window open?
Last,
That's edit preferences,
Preferences.
general panel, and then the save dialog size and position,
right here. Check
and
this
then open
bottom.
dialogs to the last panel visited. Yep.
Yep. That is the Chief. I wish they just set it up to come that way because it's really nice.
Yeah.
And what that does is when you're working on something, let's say you're doing a lot of room settings. So you're going into the structure tab all the time in a bunch of different rooms. By setting that, it comes up to that all the time. It doesn't always set it back to general, and then you have to click structure again. You get used to that really quickly once you have that turned on.
My only caution with that is you mentioned have it come that way because you get used to an icon where stuff is. If you have it go to the last window and you go click on that icon and you don't know the program well enough, you could end up getting really frustrated and finding where you want to go.
Yeah, I guess there's always a reason. So
just a caution about using that. If you're not real familiar with the program, caution if you've used it a long time, for sure set it up because it saves you a ton of clicks.
Yep, you got it.
Can we keep answering questions?
Oh, I'm spinning the wheel first. Come on, man.
All right, I'll hide this one. We'll come back to you, Doug.
How we doing? We got 4 minutes plus. Who knows ever how long we'll keep on. Okay, I thought we covered this one. Create. Let's do it real quick. So whenever you draw something in Chief, you create something. You create something that you might want to use over and over again. Actually, not a symbol. What I'm doing is I'm creating something out of a CAD box. That's right. That's the convert. That's the convert tool. Let's go back to my floor plan. So whenever you draw something, a CAD box or a CAD line, you'll see this icon down here. Okay. So anything that you draw out of CAD tools, like arcs, circles, things like that. When you click that tool, that's called the Convert Polyline tool. You can convert what you just clicked on to anything on this list that is highlighted. So if I wanted to make that a countertop, I could do that, make it a hole in the ceiling, make it a landing for the stairways, a face, just a single sheet of something, 3D molding polylines. You can create all these different things out of those lines. If it's drawn on top of a terrain, all of these would be available to click on as well, the terrain and the roads. So you'd have the ability to convert what you've drawn to those items as well. So it works really well. I mean, it's a really, really powerful tool in that Chief can, again, whatever you draw, maybe you've imported a terrain perimeter from a CAD file with the contour lines on it. You can convert all those things using that tool into a 3D object. Okay, now I'll go answer a question.
Okay, where to go now? What's that? Input on 3D mouses. I think all three of us, Robin, you don't use it, do you? You don't use one. You're muted. But Dan, you just started using one, right?
Yeah, I got the one that you have but I got the buttons on it.
Yep.
So, unfortunately, mine's on a cord, so I can't pull it up. Can you guys show what yours looks like? Yeah, there's John. So you got the one, and you have some buttons on it, a few buttons?
Yeah, I have enough buttons on it. I had the one that had all the buttons on it for a while and never used it. So
yeah, and Renee's got the one where he's got you got a couple buttons that you've got programmed into that mouse.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah,
some compounded things going on. Yeah.
If I were doing it again, I would just get the one that Renee has, more than likely.
And when you see Renee pulling up radio menus and stuff on some of the stuff he does, that's how he's getting those radio.
Yeah, why don't you show that quick, Renee, when you use the menu on that? You don't have to get how you program it; just show what it looks like.
It keeps taking my screen away. It's interesting. All right, let's do this again. Okay, so I have Control and Shift mapped to my mouse over here.
Okay.
So that if I hold here's a cabinet right here, right? So I click a button, there's my cabinet. If I swipe past, that enables that cabinet tool. Now, if I swipe past it holding my Control button modifier down, now that's a full cabinet. If I go past it holding my Shift, there's a wall cabinet.
Cool.
Yeah, and it gets more complex from there.
I'm sure it does, but you'll be covering that.
More complex than the Space Mouse general tool.
Yeah, I know you did get in that, but yeah, you'll cover that in West Virginia, won't you?
Yeah, exactly.
Cool. So if you want to learn about
well, we'll be going over some, high-end tech stuff in between classes, just in the house. So
yeah,
another reason to be there.
I'm advertising you as the super advanced dude, not just advanced, super advanced. So you have to bring a cape. All right, cool. Let's go one more spin, or do we have a question?
No, I don't see any questions.
Okay, let me go do it one more. We're getting down to just the numbers. Oh, come on. I want a number. Well, anyway, that's kind of a cool one. That's a simple one. So that's convert let's convert circles to, let me get out of here. So if you have something drawn, and I think, let's see, we can use that one with circles and curved walls, I think, too. Yeah, no, where is it? Oh, it's just CAD circles. I thought we could do that with, no, it's just CAD items. Well, I've used this a few times when I want to create things. So when you have a circle and you click that button, you have the ability to define the number of sides that you want. So maybe you want 12 sides, 15-degree increments, 30-degree increments. I thought there was a place we could specify the length of the side. Where did I see that?
Oh, well, we have the Polygon tool.
It's under the poly tool, the poly box tool. Click on the box instead.
Up here. Oh yeah, there it is. So that's the one that you can, okay. So here you can
Side length.
do the same thing but you're starting from scratch. So side length, so number of sides, 12, side length is 60 inches. Click OK. There's your box. I've used that before to, lay out a deck or something like that, but I wouldn't use it anymore because I just dimension into place. But it gives you the idea if you're laying out things.
You can do the same thing with a room, though. You go to build.
Oh, that's right. That's where that was.
Go
It's
to
not an icon. That's
under
under walls, curve. Where is that again? Polygon shaped room. There it is.
There you go.
What I've used before. Okay, number side 60 inches, and then you click somewhere.
There's your gazebo.
There you go. Bam.
Hold on.
Your auto dimensions. You're done. That's
Your roof planes will come out perfect and everything.
So there we go. All right. I think we're done. Anybody?
Mark Wilson's in here, and we've got an event tomorrow.
Oh, that's right.
Yeah.
That is, do we have I don't have a link for it. Have you guys gotten any information on that? Mark, you need to send us the links. I haven't seen the links for it.
I do, but I didn't have it in front of me to be able to post it anywhere right now. Dang it.
Yeah, I know, Mark, you mentioned it this morning in an email.
Mark, post a link in the comments if you can, real quick.
What is it? What is the event?
It's the one I told you about it, John, that you were invited
that
to.
one.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's AIBD is doing from 10 to 3, 5 hours of
That's a long thing.
come on and ask questions about chief architect and design.
Nice.
Okay.
So I'll see if I can get an email out today too. Maybe we can let everybody know about it that way.
So cover the Virginia dates again.
The dates are, where to go here? They're right down here when we go to, it's listed a couple places. Week 1 is February 12th to 19th, week 2, 19th to 27. So those are the 2 weeks. They're individual. We're just doing 2 in a row. In this, you get down here, it's going to tell you what we cover each day generally. So I'm leaving it open because I want to talk to everybody that's signing up. Everybody that signs up is going to have I'm going to interview them to find out where you're at, what you want to learn. We're going to develop a syllabus based on that information. So I'm pretty excited about that. You sign up for this, you're going to come away with a ton of information. Again, so yeah, you can register for week 1 or week 2. So just let me know if you have any questions. All right. Great question. Thank you. And anything else? We're good for the day?
Look forward to it.
There was a comment right at the beginning I was going to save till the end. Let me see if I can find it quick. I don't remember what it was. For sure.
Oh my goodness. We got someone in here that doesn't need to be in here. We need to block that user. They are blocked. Don't do that to us. That's the first time that's happened.
I'll I'll be talking about this tomorrow at AIBD. I
Okay.
think they asked me to share this.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
That might be what I was looking for.
Yeah. I'm actually anxious to see it too, because you haven't shown it to me yet and I haven't used it. So
Yeah. Okay.
shame on me. I should know better than that. So,
There's not
right.
enough time in the day.
there really isn't. The days
Yeah.
go too fast. So,
Fridays are super busy too. So,
all right, everybody.
Thank you.
You have a great day, great weekend, and we'll see you next time. Thanks for attending.
Thank you, everybody.
Bye.
Have a great day.
Yeah.